Hey guys, it's Silver Snorlax. Today I've got something a little bit different. I'm going to be sending off some cards to PSA to have them graded, and for those of you who don't know what PSA is, I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can go and check them out. But basically what I'm looking for in this video is I'm going to show you some cards. I've got a stack of about 20 here, and I'm only going to send off 10, maybe 12 of them to PSA to have them graded, and what I want you guys to do is a really big favor for me and give me your thoughts and your opinions on which cards I should send. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off with a rather beautiful base set Charizard. It is unlimited, and one of the big reasons I want to send this off is not necessarily a condition, because for those of you who know, when you have older cards they tend to get banged up, but the big reason I want to send this off is simply for nostalgia purposes, since I remember pulling that as a kid who must have been, gosh, 10 or 12, and just being so excited about it that I might just go ahead and have it graded, have it preserved that way. Next card I have is actually pretty cool. It's one of the only shadowless cards that I own. It is a holographic Blastoise, unlimited. And again, it has its fair shares of dents and dings, but ultimately, I think it's pretty cool simply because it's shadowless. Next card I was thinking about sending here is a Ancient Mew promo. I believe this is from the first movie. And actually, throughout the years, it's remained in pretty good shape, so I figure that might net me as much as a 7, so that's pretty cool. Here I have a sealed Ancient Mew card. I would love to see what this would fetch me. Who knows what I would get there, but that's pretty cool. Next card I have has an interesting little background story to it. This is a first edition Slowking, and the thing that makes this card so interesting is it was one of the few cards that was banned back in its heyday. And the reason it was banned back in its heyday was because of its Pokemon power here, Mind Games, which states whenever an opponent used a trainer card, you had to flip a coin, and if heads, that card didn't do anything. And for those of you who play the TCG today, you know how absolutely vital it is to be able to play trainer cards. Knocking them out of the equation is a very big deal. Dark Gyarados from Rocket. It's actually a first edition. It's the next card I have. And the interesting thing about this card is I actually found it at a rummage sale, and it was still in really good condition with the exception of this top border. It's actually a little bit frayed, which deteriorates a little bit from its value, but I would love to see what it would be worth PSA wise. The next card that I have is a Meowth promo, and it's from a Game Boy game. You can see in the corner here it says GB, stands for Game Boy. I forget which game it actually was, because I traded this with a kid years ago. And I forget which game he got it out of, but I figured I'd hang on to it and keep it in its nice packaging, and maybe it would be worth something to me someday. Right now, I think if I tried to sell it, I'd make maybe $5 on it, but who knows, with the PSA rating, it may be more. Here I have an Entei promo, and I believe this was from the first, maybe second movie, I forget which. I'm leaning towards second on that one, not really sure. Again, the big issue with most of these cards is the backs of them are a little bit banged up, which does take away from PSA's ranking. I would love to see what I get on all of these, but of course I can only send 10 or 12. Here I've got one of my favorite base set cards. It's actually a Nidoking. And the only reason I'm hesitant about sending it is because of condition. The back is, along the borders in particular, it's very, very frayed. You can see along the bottom here it's got some damage. And it's very difficult to tell on camera, but generally the edges are a little bit messy. But the front of it looks nice, not too bad. I figure that maybe get me a 5, maybe pushing it, maybe get a 6. Who knows? And I'm not sending these to get really good scores. I'm sending these primarily for nostalgia purposes, since these cards are worth a lot to me personally. It's an Alakazam base set, unlimited. Still in pretty good shape. I remember buying this bad boy from a card shop for like $6 years ago. I was so happy I found an Alakazam for $6. The next thing I have is an unlimited base set Mewtwo. Also in fairly decent condition. Again, like most of my cards, the edges are a little bit dinged, but nothing too bad. Next card I have here is a Hitmonchan, base set unlimited. Which is a pretty cool looking card. If I remember right, was used a lot in competitive decks. Here we go. We have a Ninetales base set unlimited. Pretty cool looking. Here we have a Raichu. This one's actually more dinged than I would like it to be. However, it is base set, and that's one of the big things that makes me want to send it off to be graded simply because it's base set. I am a huge fan of base set, fossil, jungle, and rocket sets. Would love to have those completed one day. Say, first edition Machamp, probably pulled from a starter deck, I do believe. If I remember right, this was pulled from a starter deck. That's pretty cool. Here we have some more recent stuff that's not, you know, base set, jungle, fossil, whatever. Some of the newer stuff. This is a Delibird first edition. Actually in really good condition still. This is probably the best card I have in terms of condition. It's an Erica's Clefable. It's first edition. I do believe I bought this off my brother not long ago. But it looks gorgeous, so I was thinking about sending that off. Here I have a first edition Vaporeon from Jungle, which first edition from one of the earliest sets, that's got to be worth something. Even if it's gotten a low score from grading, it's still got to be worth a little something. So I might want to lean towards sending him off. However, that condition's pretty lousy. I might get a 4 or 5 on that one, but hey, who knows. Jumpluff first edition, also in pretty good condition. I might get a 6 or a 7 on that one. I would love to see that. Here I have a Heracross first edition, which looks just gorgeous on the front. I love the artwork. Looks like it's battling a Pinscher or something. Here I have a Magneton first edition. I love how this card looks and shines. It's absolutely gorgeous. Fairly decent shape as well. Most of the edges are in one piece. And the last card I have to look at is a Pinscher first edition jungle. And the only reason I am hesitant about sending this particular card is if you look above the first edition sign, there is a little glare there. There's a little, it looks like the hollow foil leaked off of the printer and right above the first edition mark. So that's the only reason that's keeping me from holding me back, but I do think it is a pretty cool looking card, and it is first edition from Jungle, which are hard to come by. So anyway, guys, if you would leave your feedback below, see which cards you like the most, list maybe 10, maybe 12 of them, and post them in the comments below so I can take a look, see what everybody thinks, and I might be sending them off to PSA sooner rather than later. So thank you, and we will have another video upload soon. Thanks.